here now. Coach, how are you doing? Thanks for coming on here. I'm in Mineral Ridge as well, so I don't know how far away you are, but my girlfriend lives out here in Mineral Ridge, so it's cool to get a Ridge guy on here with me.
No, that's where I live. So
you're in Girard. Okay. I actually date her. Well, her cousins are the Gillies, so Jack and Andrew. I spent a lot of time with them.
yeah.
So they're a good group of kids. But we'll go right into some questions here. Last year, you guys did pretty good. I was looking at your record. What was it, like 14-5, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So, were you losing a lot of guys? I didn't see how many seniors you lost.
Yeah, we lost 6 seniors. So we're it's and 4 of them were all conference guys. 2 of them went to college. 4 of them probably should have went and played in college bowl. So yeah, we definitely lose a lot of skilled talent. All of I think 5 out of the 6 were 4-year starters. So there's a lot of experience that we lost from last year.
So now, who do you think has shown a lot to possibly fill that void? We're going to just jump right into questions here, if that's all right.
Pitching wise, I think Trey Wrigley's one to look out for. I think he can have a breakout junior season. He's an athlete. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Jack Gilly.
Yep.
One. I mean, he was going to pitch a little bit for us last year, and then second game of the season broke his thumb as a freshman. So
he broke his arm too this year. I heard.
That's his brother.
Yeah.
So,
what's that?
That was his brother Andrew.
I know the whole story. And then Andrew broke his hand or something too, right?
Yeah, Jack broke his thumb last year, and Andrew broke his wrist this year. So it's
geez,
a freshman curse for those guys.
Yeah. They're
actually he got his cast off. He's in a little bit of a brace now, but he's getting close to being cleared to go.
Good.
But yeah, Trey Wrigley's one. Jack Gilly's another one. We picked Tristan Valley's out this year. He's got a ton of arm talent. It's just kind of working his mechanics, letting him figure those out. I think he could be really good for us. We got Justin Barker. He came out for his senior year. He's got a great arm as well. He's just kind of knocking the rust off. Who else is there? Gavin Fox. He's a senior. He didn't get a lot of action last year just because of the guys we had. But Gavin Fox is another one. He worked all summer long on his mechanics, and we had a scrimmage with Niles yesterday, and he looked pretty good against them. Austin Allen's another senior who I think can have some success off the mound for us.
Yes, that sounds like you got a pretty good group with you coming back this year. What's it going to be like going into this first game? I just saw it and I missed. Who do you guys play again?
Reserve.
Yeah, so Western Reserve, another. Just jumping right into the season, in that first game. So I mean, I've been to a couple of basketball games, and I always see the baseball players coming through, and I'm like, yeah, they're going to work. So what's the practice situation like? Do you go like a couple of times? Do you do weekend practices or anything like that?
Right now, especially because we're such a young group, we're Monday through Saturday. So we go after school. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, we lift after. And then Saturdays, we go 9 to 11, get in there, swing it. And then the first 3 weeks, we've had our kids camp too. So those Saturdays have been like long days for them. So this is the last one for our camp. But yeah, they've been getting after it. I mean, we started lifting in November. We've had 12, 14 people in the weight room every time we go in the off season. And now with everybody, we got 18 guys. They're putting in the work that needs to be done.
That's something that you really like to see as a coach, guys coming in, you said in the off season, putting work in, whether it's lifting or, working on their pitching. Where do you see this team going at this year? Do you have a specific goal, or do you just want to come out and, see them get good play, or do you have like specific goals?
So we're young, experience wise. I mean, we don't really return much varsity experience at all. But I could see us, I want to see us keep building as the year goes on. I mean, we scrimmaged Niles on Monday, and we didn't look great. A lot of rusty errors, and then we scrimmaged them again yesterday, and we looked a lot better than we did the first time. So, it was just putting that in their heads that we just got to get better each game. We're inexperienced. We're going to have struggles. That just comes with the game.
Yeah.
But the fact that we're just going to keep building, I mean, I could see us being above 500 this year.
Okay, that's always a good goal to get to. Just keep it above 500. Sneak in the playoff, and you never know what happens. You got a long way away though. We're starting. This is just a nice little preview to talk about. Now, I really like the scrimmages because, like you said, a lot of those players, like, you can lift and you can work on your pitching and hitting, but when you get in, it's not playing a real game. When you play that real game, there's definitely going to be that rust there, and that's why I like the scrimmages. And like you said, you see a lot of that rust come off, from that, you play Niles twice, the first game and the second game, you saw a lot of people, improving. That's why MLB, they have spring training. This is like your guys' spring training. You got to come in, you got to get to work, you got to, work on different things. And that's what scrimmages are for. Like, does this guy work on the pitcher's mound? Is this guy working better in the outfield, catching? Have you seen anybody like that? Like, you tried somebody out at pitcher and he's like, all right, maybe not pitcher. Then you put him at first base and he's done great.
Yeah, so we're still kind of working out the kinks, moving people around, seeing where.
Yeah.
That's why, like you said, those two scrimmages were nice to see. You get out there now. You're in a kind of because we've been cage scrimmaging with each other, like our own team, and you get yourself in a cage. It's a little different than out on a field. You get yourself out there. Things are different. There's more pressure. You have runners on, people stealing and stuff. So, yeah, just seeing that, and just kind of working, seeing who can handle those kind of situations and stuff like that. Because, I mean, with the inexperience, we're going to need we're pitching by committee this year, so we're going to need people to be able to come off the bench, get in high pressure pitching situations, and be able to handle that kind of stuff.
Have you seen anybody that could be in tough situations like that?
Yes, good example was Gavin Fox yesterday.
Gavin Fox. Okay.
Yeah, we brought him in. I think he was our third pitcher yesterday. Came in, got some runners on, not by his fault, but then he kind of pitched his way out of it. So, I mean, that's something that I want him to start building on. I told him that yesterday. If you can do that every game or every time you're out there, that's a good thing to be able to do. We need people like that who can do that kind of stuff.
Yes,
so,
yeah.
Well, Tristan Valley's another one. He has this is the first time he's played baseball since he was 11. He came out yesterday and he looked pretty good off the mound against live hitting. So we're going to see where that goes. But he's another one that can play the outfield too. So
that's awesome. And you like that great starting pitcher, to come in, give you maybe 6 innings or so. But you also like that guy to come in relief who can get out of jams with, run like 2 or even bases loaded.
Yeah.
And just maybe 1 run comes in, but if you get out of that, quickly, like that's what you really like to see. Like, if they can really handle that pressure, and that's, and that really creates a lot of trust for your guys.
Yeah.
Like, all right, look at him. He came in, had bases loaded, and came out, with no runs or maybe even 1 run. So it's those relief pitchers that come in and just produce. So next question for you. What has been kind of the routine for you? I know you talked about, the Monday through Saturday practices, but what has been like the routine? Like, do you go in, do you do batting first? Do you do pitching first? Or do you have like meetings or anything like that with your team? Or
no, we don't really meet. So, I mean, I get there after work. So practice starts at 3:15. They're in there. They go through their dynamic warm-ups, their stretches and stuff. And then from there, we kind of talk a little bit about, what we're going to build on for today. And then either we'll go, because we're kind of stuck in the gym. So we'll either go work on defensive stuff, like we've been putting in our bunt coverages and first and third situations, PFP, stuff like that. We might do that for the whole practice, or we might just hit. Like today, we're going to go in and just hit for 2 hours. And then tomorrow we'll work our infield like coverages and base running stuff like that. And then some days, I mean, we'll split. We'll go an hour hitting, hour working on infield stuff like skills. Individual skill stuff.
Okay.
So it all depends on what we got planned for that day.
Do you guys look to be a team to maybe steal a lot?
Yeah, that's kind of what we do. That's everywhere I've been. That's what I've done. So like last year, I mean, that was huge success for us. Was just stealing bases. I know we had a lot of guys in double digits in stolen bases last year. We had like 7 or 8.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, that's 7 or 8 steals. I'm gonna kind of go out on a limb here because I seen him play basketball, and the way he moved up and down the court was just insane. Trey Wrigley, could he
Yeah,
be that type of guy? He
could
can
be that.
run, he
Yeah,
can sprint.
you know
So
who's sneaky fast is
yeah,
Tristan Valley.
Tristan Valley as well.
I
All right.
saw him run the one. I was like, gee, I didn't know you could get down a line like that. So he could be another one if he gets on. You know, might be able to swipe some bases. Gavin Fox is fast.
Okay.
And then another one was Justin Daly. He hurt his knee, so we're kind of figuring out what's going on with that. But that kid is lightning. He is super fast.
So you've had a couple surprises this year for some players.
Yeah. Yep.
Any other surprises? Like, any improvements? Like, wow, look at him. Look, last.
Yeah, Trenton Thomas.
What was
huge improvements from last year?
Ooh.
He didn't get a lot of playing time because you had Gino Novello at third base and Peyton Zupka, but he came in this year. He's been on fire. I mean, swinging the bat like crazy. So that's a huge improvement from last year.
Yeah, I mean, you always like to see coming in this year. Like, were you a little nervous coming in this year? Like, what kind of hand am I being dealt here? Or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, in the offseason, it was you're replacing four or five really good players. So I mean, that's always kind of a fear. And then because of that, some of these guys didn't get the big games that they could have got in. So it was always just kind of feel it out, see what we're going to be like. But these guys, they're competitors. They want to get out there and compete. So I'm not real worried about that. It's just the making the inexperienced errors, but it's a learning experience for them. So I think there were some fears, but I think as we keep moving on, those kind of fears are, like I told him the other day, we look better than what I thought we were going to look like coming into this season. So
that's actually what my next question was going to be. Have those fears kind of drifted away, like what you said they have? Like, is there any other fear like kind of lingering around that you want to go away, but it's
just our, I guess, pitching. How is our pitching going to hold up? Because like I said, the guys that threw last year are all gone. I mean, Trey Wrigley has the most experience, and I think he threw like 13 innings for us.
Okay.
So I mean, it's stuff like that. These other guys, they got to get in there. They got to get their feet wet. And I think once we start to get in game situations and as the season progresses, I think those fears are going to kind of mitigate.
Now, you talked about your pitching and you talked about your infield and outfield. How does your infield and outfield kind of look this year, and your catching position as well? Because all these guys, if your pitching is a little off, you have all these guys to back you up. So does that kind of feel the comfort a little bit? Like, we got some guys that can go, make diving plays in the infield or leaping plays in the outfield.
So we bring in two freshman catchers. That's what we got, but they're both pretty good freshman catchers. Okay. So I'm not real worried about that aspect. And then we bring back AJ Sandy at second base. I mean, he started every game last year as a freshman. You're going to bring back Trey Wrigley. He's probably going to play outfield and shortstop. Xavier Clammer is a freshman, and he's as legit as they come as a shortstop. So he's going to be probably our primary shortstop, and then mix in with Jack Gilly and Trey Wrigley. Jack's another one that's going to play third base, and Trenton Thomas is going to play third base. We kind of moved Gino Novello from third to first. He has a great glove, but he kind of had some elbow issues, so we kind of wanted to work him over there just to kind of relieve that the throws on his arm. So him and Mike Fry are going to be our first basemen, and they both look pretty good. So I mean, the infield doesn't worry me at all. The outfield, that just comes with reps. I mean, with not really being able to get outside and seeing fly balls you want to. That's just going to be that might be an issue early, but as the season goes on, I don't see that being an issue.
And from what you were saying, a lot of new pitchers on the mound, so you might get a lot of balls hit out into the outfield, so that might erase that problem real quick. Like maybe that first game or so, or maybe even they'll figure it out in these scrimmages. Like, hey, we gotta be on our game. These balls could be coming out here. Do you have? I mean, you talked about the speed. Are those guys out there, like you talked about Trey Wrigley? that guy can definitely cover a lot of ground in a matter of a second. So, do you feel a lot of comfortable with that outfield situation?
Yeah. I think the last couple scrimmages, those 2 scrimmages kind of like helped us figure that stuff out. But yeah, I mean, you got Tristan Valley out there. He can run up and get it. Trey Wrigley's out there. Gavin Fox is out there right now.
So you got your speedsters out there. So
and you got Austin Allen who came in last year for us in certain situations and made great plays in the outfield.
Mm-hmm.
And he made one just the other day on a short like driving line drive. He came flying in from center field, sliding on his knees, caught it. So these guys can go out and catch the baseball. So it's just kind of like I said, when you get into a game and the kind of pressure's on, runners on, you start to think about things. I'm hoping that they don't panic a little bit.
Yes. Well, Coach, I want to thank you for coming on here and talking to me. Hopefully I can come out and call some Ridge games this year. But good luck to you, and maybe we'll have you on here in the middle of the season or so to kind of talk about that. But, Coach, thanks for coming on here with me.
Thank you. I appreciate it, Matt.
All right. Have a good day.
You too.